Hello, gorgeous folks. This is Darice. Welcome back to Moon Life Astro. And if you're new, thank you for joining. Today, I'm going to be talking about a few transits happening over the next couple of days. On this channel, we discuss astrology, planning, productivity, basically how to move more in alignment with the rhythms of nature so that we can still be productive and do it in a way that's harmonious and fun and easy on the nervous system. Let's grow with ease and grace is pretty much my motto. I like to think that life is actually not supposed to be that hard, that we come into this world with everything we need inside of us, the skills, the gifts, the talents to grow and learn and help us move through the challenges that we will be experiencing in our life. And that, a lot of us are here to learn particular lessons, and a lot of us are here to teach particular lessons. I feel like a lot of the people attracted to the work I do think of themselves as light workers, like I do myself. And so I just want to support us all in that ability and in supporting our mission. And because I know that a lot of what we do in our communities, our families, our businesses is part of a larger mission to really help the planet and humanity up level to its next, I guess, iteration or its next level. I feel like we're in a very profound time of change. And one of the reasons why we're going through all of this profound change, why we have all of these challenges, is that we are being prepared to be a new country, a new planet, and in many ways, a new species. And so I like to think that all these things that we do day by day, our everyday task, our actions, is part of a larger mission. It's to help us be more powerful in our love on the planet at the end of the day. And I feel like if that's really the driver and the motivation, love should feel fun. I would like it to feel free and joyous. And so I think planning and productivity can do that. And astrology has helped me have that approach and attitude with it. So with that, let's get into the astrology that's going to be coming up for the next couple of days here. We have quite a few things actually. So for those of you who are somewhat new to astrology, it might sound like a lot of astrology gobbledygook, but don't worry, I will break it all down for you. So just hang in there and be patient. And at the end of the day, if you just get the gist of what I'm saying, like that's more than enough. So let's see what we have going on here. This week is really about harnessing our discipline and mental clarity. And we have transits helping us do that. Right now, we have Mercury that's going to be entering Capricorn. Mercury just cleared its post shadow period. After Mercury goes retrograde, it still has a shadow period where you're still kind of wrapping up the themes, the communication issues that came up during that Mercury retrograde that recently cleared last week. And now it's going to be entering on January 8th. It's going to be entering Capricorn. Mercury does really well in Capricorn. So it's going to help highlight our clarity and strategic thinking. We will also have Mercury squaring the North Node, which is going to be helping us look at our path forward in life, our purpose. We have Sun squaring Chiron, and that's actually healing through discomfort is the theme of that. And then at the end of the week, the energy lifts, and we have Mercury trining Saturn, where Mercury is being supported by Saturn. And that can help us implement discipline and structure in a more graceful manner. But let's break it down one by one. So, like I said, we have Mercury in Capricorn. That's going to be January 8th. So, Mercury represents our communication, our thinking, how we organize our thinking about ideas, how we learn, how we digest information. And so when it goes into Capricorn, things clear up. So you may have an experience around the 8th or maybe during this entire week where things where you were still a little fuzzy on about what are my next steps? What do I need to do? Answers may come to you. You may have a breakthrough in those areas. So that's something to look forward to. It does support logical decision making, clear communication, and productive planning. So, if you want to strategize, break something out, maybe you want to map out a course or a book you're planning to write later this year, this would be a good week to start looking at that outline if you haven't already done so. It's also a great week to maybe redo some of your to-do list and prioritize tasks. Look at the order in which you want to get something done. If you want to break out a project, this week could be a good week to look at how to map that out. And then also on January 8th, we have Mercury squaring the North Node. Now, the North Node, at least for people who follow evolutionary astrology, is kind of represents your soul's path in your chart, your purpose, your direction in life. And so for some people, that may be attached to your professional career, your business, and it may not. It just depends on what you're doing. But when Mercury squares that North Node, it may put up a potential roadblock in how you're getting something done in that area. Maybe you're rethinking, is this what I really want to be doing with my life? Especially again, since it's also against the backdrop of Mars being in retrograde, Mars being our planet of action, and also Mars retrogrades tends to impact how we do work in particular. So you may already be revising practices. Maybe you've been forced into redoing things in a new way. And that process in and of itself may also be having you question if you're in the right line of work, if the business that you've created is what you really want to commit to for the next couple of years. Maybe you're rethinking that. And if you are, that's fine. And you don't have to make any decisions this week. You can definitely sit with these things. But January 8th, when Mercury squares the North Node, that feeling may potentially be heightened, or it may be bringing that to the surface for you. You might be second guessing, are you on the right path? And if that's the case, I invite you to simply sit with those feelings, set aside some time to just meditate and reflect, maybe journal or draw that out. Some people like to make to-do list or maybe use a process with index cards where you write down certain ideas that may work, like what do I like, and then maybe shuffle them, see what comes up. Or it might be a good time to do a tarot card reading or an oracle card pull. The other thing happening now, also on January 8th, is we have Sun squaring Chiron. Now, the sun represents our identity, how we see ourselves, and Chiron is the wounded healer. So, Chiron represents sometimes one of our deeper core wounds in our lives, the traumas we've been through, what we're continuing to learn from, how they're impacting us. And when the sun squares Chiron, it can create a tension between that area. It might heighten your insecurities. And again, we're still in Mars retrograde, which is also heightening our insecurities. So, those insecurities, those doubts, like I said earlier, they could be highlighted as well. You might love the idea of your business, but maybe you're feeling a sense of, am I really the person who can do this? That imposter syndrome, that might be coming up for you. And I would encourage you to look at yourself from the highest perspective. Like one of the things I like to do is when I feel myself questioning myself, doubting myself, I ask myself, if I had my best friend coming to me expressing those same doubts and insecurities, what advice would I give my best friend? Because I'm always going to be nicer to my best friend than I will ever be to myself, and I think many of us are just wired that way, which is unfortunate. Um, but if I can write down what I would say to my best friend and then say that to myself, it's easier for me to calm down. So maybe that's a practice that you can use this week for yourself. And now what's nice is, like, after we've had a few days of this self-reflection, this questioning, this doubting, the energy lifts January 9th. We have Mercury trining Saturn. And what that means is it's more supported. Mercury is so, and since Saturn is about limits, structure, Mercury again, our communication, how we receive information, how we digest information. This is a really great time for more focused thinking, strategizing, planning. So maybe Thursday, Friday is a better day for looking at how you want to map out your larger projects, organizing those. Maybe it's a great time to do some brainstorming with some other people that you know, love, respect, and trust, whose advice is going to be really supportive for what you're working on. Um, the other way this could play out is you may feel more grounded, you may be more focused, and you might have more energy to tackle more complex problems. It's also a great day for long-term business planning, professional communications. It's also a good time to maybe start organizing some of your finances, your records, your receipts. It's a good time to maybe start looking at financial planning systems, bookkeeping systems, if you don't already have that in place. Um, if you want to implement a new bookkeeper or new bookkeeping, so there may be delays with that just because we are still in a Mars retrograde, but it doesn't mean that you can't look at it and, you know, use your own judgment about, you know, who's the right person to do that with. And I am definitely not someone who gives financial advice at all. I am suggesting, though, that people do organize their receipts and paperwork early this year. You may even want to consider doing your taxes early this year. I'm going to continue to offer that to people since this March. We do have Mercury retrograde happening, and we also have eclipse season. So that can bring delays and challenges. And so just be aware that that's coming. So this is a good time to be looking at, are there ways to maybe potentially take care of those taxes early? You know, just a thought, just a suggestion. This is also a good time to look at any other plans or systems that you've been looking at, maybe around organizing other tasks for you, other planning systems, calendar systems, or if you have other systems around, you know, content creation, what else am I thinking of? Yeah, you know, if you maybe have a system around, if you work with one-on-one clients, like how you organize your records, keep track of your notes for your clients, you know, then this could be a good time to look at like new ways of optimizing that. But basically, in a nutshell, this week's is an invitation to balance introspection and action. Again, you know, Mercury in Capricorn and this trine to Saturn, it does push us to create solid plans, while the Sun squaring Chiron and Mercury squaring the North Node can encourage us to address emotional roadblocks and to rethink them, to have a new approach to them. And again, as always, remember challenges are just a part of growth. So this is a great week to use some of that energy just to reflect, plan, and move forward with that energy. And again, thank you for taking the time to listen to this. If you made it all the way to the end, thank you. I really do truly appreciate it. If it does resonate for you, feel free to like and subscribe and to share this with people. It does help me get the message out and to support as many people as possible. I am also inviting people to join my free community on the School platform. When you join there, you'll get my free PDF on planning for 2025. Just my suggestions. You know, take what works for you, ignore the rest. And also, it's a great opportunity just to connect with other like-minded people and receive support at this time. And I am also available for readings as well. So you'd be able to book me for a reading. There'll be links down below. And again, wishing you all the best, peace, love, and joy. Easefully yours, Darice.